Alright, so I'm here to review The Bear, Season 2 with Jeremy Allen White and some delicious food. Let's dive into this.
How could you remember the name?
You sure it says original birth?
Yeah, it's a printing mistake. Collector's item.
Alright, so I'm here to review Season 2 of The Bear with Jeremy Allen White and a lot of fantastic actors. Season 1 was a huge hit, and just like a lot of things in TV, it took a while for me to get to it. Actually, I've just I started watching the whole show a couple of weeks ago. So I've binged the first season in almost 2 days. It was just like so addictive. Powerful performances all around, great writing, just like addictive television. So season 2 is just as fantastic and powerful as the first season was, if not better. Just like a 5-course meal, it's delectable, it's addictive. I was devouring one episode after the next. It's extremely well written, and the episode, they're not too long. There's one that it is, but there's a reason why. Anyway, I won't spoil it. So the season starts with a slower pace, as you know, everyone is trying to work on improving themselves, and it's actually a big theme of this whole season, you know, trying to be a better person, but it doesn't always work out like you think it's gonna work out when you're trying to work on yourself. And sometimes, you know, there's some clash between personalities and between people, between egos, and that's, you know, also part of what this show is about. It's just trying to be a better person and trying to work with other people, and that season make this a very important theme. The cast is just brilliant. Either it's the chemistry between Sid and Carm, or if it's Fak or Richie. You know, it's all those small moments between the characters that kind of like create a bond with the audience, and you start being attached to those characters, even though all of them are flawed. They're all flawed people, but aren't we all? Aren't we all just flawed? And I think that's a little bit why the show is trying to tell you. And you know, Jeremy Allen White is just a powerhouse, just he's a terrific actor. He has on-screen presence that a lot of actors maybe are trying to aim for, but this guy is just like, he's in his own zone. And as we you probably all know, in the first season he did a lot of research, going into kitchens and understand how the business was working, and it shows. You know, dedicated actor giving a performance like this just deserve all the awards and all the praise that he's getting. And I feel like this season is also gonna you might come home with a few golden statues after that, because he's giving one hell of a performance in a couple of episodes. So I don't want to talk too much about the episodes specifically, but just going over them like very vaguely. It's like I said, it starts a little bit slower, but it doesn't take too long before the chaos just comes back. There's also a lot of moments with them just breathing and trying to enjoy life, trying to be a better person, as I said. But it's still in the benefit of the story, and the fact that every single actor in this bring their own ingredients to the table. And I'm sorry for the food pun, but it is what it is. They all have something to bring to the table. You become so attached to those characters, and you wish them their best, but at the same time, you know something bad might be coming because of the nature of the show, which is extremely stressful. I was watching the last episode, and it kind of felt like a Hell's Kitchen episode, without saying too much.
The fucking pizza dough. Here's more mozzarella. What? I rolled a fucking pizza dough. What are you doing? Are you fucking...
But there's also a lot of great moments, just thinking of episode 3, where Sid is in Chicago trying to experience food, and food is an art by itself, just like this TV series. And this is why I love when food and art just blend so well, and this show is an example of that. Great episode with Sid, and that's just an example. The same thing happened in episode 4 with Marcus, but we have a juggernaut, like an explosive emotional episode with episode 6, which is like exploring the family dynamic between all of them. You feel like you're being hit by a train after watching the episode. There's a lot of people showing up, and I feel like at some point it might be distracting at first, but it feels so organic because all those actors are so great. And by the end of the episode, I was just like really it's an emotional roller coaster, and I really love that episode. Episode 7 is also really focused on Richie. What a great actor. So Richie kind of has like this nihilistic personality, which is reflected in the cinematography. In the episode 7, you have a very cold, dark cinematography, but as the episode move along, you can tell that he's improving. He's trying to work on himself without getting into too much details once again. But I just want to say that this is a theme that you can see reflected in almost every single episode, but also throughout the progression of that season. By the end of it, you kind of feel like they're becoming a whole family, and with family comes trouble. There's also some people who are clashing sometimes, which is part of the show, the nature of that show, which is it can be chaotic at sometimes, but it's very reflective. It makes you think about, it asks basically the audience to look at, it asks you to look at yourself in the mirror and trying to see if you can be a better person and improve yourself. Well, actually, that's how I felt about it. Maybe that's not the point of the show, but after seeing that second season and seeing how everyone is working on themselves, it kind of, begs the question, like, what can I do myself to be a better person? Because obviously we're all flawed, but that's the beauty of the show. But even though those people, they're all aiming for perfection, you can see that perfection in the show, in the food that they're cooking. So it's all made with extremely talented people, brilliant, a creative force, and that's why I thought that season was absolutely wonderful. If I have to give it a rating, I would say 9.5 out of 10. Extremely well made. If you like the first season, you might like this one better. Maybe not, but that was the case for me. Some powerful episodes and also extremely great acting moments, which I feel like it's gonna be a hit at the Emmys next year. So yeah, that's my review of The Bear season 2. Wonderful piece of work and highly recommended. Go see it.